Hey, Bri.
How you doing?
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to everybody else out there, anybody listening. We basically saw each other Christmas Eve, and then we kind of went our separate ways for the holiday. Like, we saw each other at Janine's house, our sister.
Yeah.
Christmas was kind of crazy because our mother usually makes all the food. She got sick, so last minute we scrambled together, and I was cooking a bunch of stuff. My sister, we all just threw it together, went to my sister's house, which is not typical. Wasn't the typical Christmas Eve. But after that, I know I went on vacation.
Worked out. And then shortly after the New Year, I went on vacation.
Yeah, well, we both survived the holidays, the drinking and the food and the debauchery and whatever else for the holidays. But the break was good. I needed a break from work for a little bit. But you went on your vacation to recharge your batteries.
Yeah, and I'm going back to work tomorrow.
Okay. I already, unfortunately, went back to work last Monday, straight from the red eye, went back to work. I went to California, took a cruise. I can't believe I didn't see the fires, by the way, because I didn't even know what was going on. And I was in LA for 3 days.
I thought that they started on like the 7th, like when I was away.
So they might have started just then. I heard there was small, but they got out of control because of Santa Ana winds or whatever, whatever it is, something.
Yeah.
The winds on the other side, but they're out of control now. But I didn't see any of that stuff. I got on a cruise and I had a good time.
Yeah, I had some people where I was at, and they were going home because they were from California. So all of a sudden it's like, oh, where's Johnny? And where's, whatever. And you go like, oh, yeah, their houses are in the line, or they might have even lost their homes.
Yeah, it's unbelievable watching that stuff. And I feel bad for everybody out there. And I keep thinking, where in the United States can you go where there's not something? California always has fires and the droughts, and then other places have tornadoes. We got hurricanes. Florida has hurricanes.
I tell you, though, I don't understand
Northeast
how,
has snowstorms.
California just seems to be, I don't know, it's harder to want to move out there. It seems like there's more stuff going on in California, though, than there is often. Or maybe it's just more newsworthy and you hear about it more. I don't know.
No, there's more stuff, I think. I mean, everybody's always worried about everything, but California seems to get more than their fair share of stuff that they have to deal with. I know this year, for the first time in forever, I came back from vacation and I was not sick. I didn't come back with an illness. It's every year I go away Christmas time, and right after, as soon as I come back, the guys at work are like, oh yeah, don't worry. When we know you're coming back, you're going to need another 4 or 5 days. I swear my cousin Chris, our cousin, still thinks I was the original undiagnosed case of COVID. when I went 5 years ago.
Yeah.
Because I went to the urgent care and everything. Unknown virus. Nobody knows what it was. And they think I got it I don't know, maybe I got it. I was at Universal Studios that whole week, going to all the parks. And then I went to go see Chris, and it was everything. But anyway, that's another whole story. But this year I didn't come back with an illness. I just came back with a bunch of different drink recipes. I drank way too much on this stupid cruise. When you get that drink package, I don't know about you, I try everything. I don't really drink a lot during the year. I drink with friends, I drink here and there, but when I go on vacation, I try everything, and it's ridiculous on the cruise.
Yeah, I don't drink that much when I go away. I drink more probably on like a Wednesday night.
No,
than I do when I'm going on vacation. I haven't had a drink in over 30 days.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's good. I've had 30 days worth of drinks in a week.
There you go.
I'm bad. Okay. Cher, my girlfriend, she turns around and she says to everybody, I don't drink. But we get her the drink package, of course, because that's a lie. So when we go on the vacations, she says she doesn't drink. She doesn't drink her own drinks. She drinks whatever I drink. She'll say, oh, let me try it. So what I do is I go on the ship or I go to a bar, and my move is I don't know what drinks to get. I drink you put an umbrella and a piece of fruit in it, it looks good to me. That's what I drink. So I drink like Malibu, Bay Breezes, and like those type of drinks. A little bit of splash of pineapple and cranberry or orange juice in there with a little vodka. White drinks. I drink rum and I drink vodka.
Yeah, those
because I can't drink
tasty.
I can't drink any of those other ones anymore. I know in the day used to be, a bunch of tequila, or used to be whatever. I used to drink horrible shots. And I know when we used to go out with the boys at the bar, though I couldn't even keep up. I couldn't drink those drinks because I don't drink the whiskeys and the bourbons. I can't drink the Jamesons, and that's not me.
I would only drink, mostly shots. With the beer was just really there for chaser.
Our boy Mikey used to be the bartender everywhere we used to go, basically. And when he poured shots, he knew, hey man, give me a different shot to these guys because I don't want to do that. It had ended in a really bad way. But what I do is I go to the bar and I look up and down the bar and I see what drinks are on the bar already. I just tell the bartender, hey man, what's that? I'm gonna have one of those. I say, okay, there's no there's no like whiskey in it or whatever. That's not my drink. And he goes, no, it's vodka and this and whatever kind of mix or something. Or I said, okay, give me that. Yeah, whatever they gave me, whatever. But I found this drink that somebody ordered and I saw it and I ordered it for Cher, and she turned around and she said, oh, I'm drinking this coffee martini. I'm not going to have it. I said, all right, I'll have it. I had 3 of them. And when I go drinking, I like to dance. And on a cruise ship, there's always some music playing somewhere, whatever. I was dancing every night until like 2 in the morning because I was just, it was.
You move. Yeah, that's like the complete opposite of me.
It's the opposite of, I know.
I would not fucking dance at all.
Like I dance, and my thing is now, I just, because I'm so out of it, I don't care if it's 11 o'clock at night. I put my sunglasses on. And I go on the dance floor and I just dance. I don't pay attention to anybody. It's nice and dark, the lights, whatever. I don't care. It's all younger kids than me, whatever.
And you're not worried about falling?
No, I'm not worried about falling at all. I was doing my spins and doing all other stuff. I was trying to do a split the old school way.
Oh,
I was trying. Oh no, it's whatever. I was just. It was a glow party I went to. There was electronic dance, music party, EDM, and
Good
I was
for
doing
you.
everything. I don't care.
That's great.
It was silly, but
I see. I end up like I will if I start drinking during the day, I will need to nap. I will need to fall asleep, man. It's like I'm good for like if I consistently go, and I can't consistently, start drinking at like noon or 11 and then keep on going without me getting like 2 to 3 hours to sleep. And then after that, usually I'm good. It's like I don't want to go step back into it again. So I'm a different kind of drinker.
I think I had a drink every day starting at like maybe 11 a.m. And then I just consistently drank, and I was just in a okay.
You got
I've
buzzed and
alcoholed
you
my
stayed
system,
buzzed?
and I stayed until the nighttime. And then I would dance and get it out of my system. I literally would go find where the music is on the, like, there's always something on these ships or whatever. And I would till 2 in the morning, and then 2 in the morning I would go to the casino. And I would be in the casino till about, I don't know, another hour or so, playing stuff and trying to win.
So food, though. Food doesn't have the effect on you because you're on a cruise, and that's one of the biggest things is food. And food always takes me out of the drink.
Okay, no. Because I prefer, when I'm on a cruise, going to the dining room or going to dinner at a table as opposed to the buffet, where it would take me completely out of it. So I'm sitting at the table, I'm still sipping, but I'm eating my food, but it's not putting me out of the drink. No,
you don't get full, like,
because I'm still sipping.
Still sipping. Yeah, for me, it's that
I
takes
think it
me
used to, but I don't know. I was just, I said I needed to, whatever. We had a great time. It was good. The casino was fun. I did good at the casino. I think if I didn't have to keep giving Cher my money in the winnings, I think I probably would have maybe broke even or won a little bit at the casino over the whole week. I did win a cruise. I know it's insane, but I did win the raffle for the cruise on the ship.
Win raffles.
And I win. Since I was like, I don't know, 7 or 8 years old, I've been winning a lot of raffles. I don't understand that. I don't question it. The universe wants to do that to me. Thank you very much.
Good for you.
Went to Cabo. Cabo was nice. Tried some tequila here. Tried some this there. I'm not really a tequila drinker, but everybody's pushing tequila. So, I tried a little this. I tried a little that. I love to go places and try the actual local stuff. So I had a local beer, and I went to a store for the local minor league baseball team, and I bought a hat just to support them. I had some fantastic street corn. I don't know if you ever had street corn before.
I've had street corn, but
it was
here.
I've had the street corn there was amazing. They got like, I speak very little Spanish, but I just wanted to know, hot, how hot, caliente, like tell me how hot this is. No. And they're like, no. I said, no, just a little bit. So I had to get an interpreter to help me say, don't put this stuff on there, the wrong one, because I would have, it would have been coming out of both ends. It was terrible. But the street corn was fantastic, and local tacos and stuff, which is just a whole different animal. So I tried. I got like 6 different types of tacos. And just walking around. I did that in Honduras too once. I went to the local place, and they were feeding the drivers of the taxis that we took. We rented a taxi for the entire day. And we paid the guy wanted like $30 for the whole day because they were so poor. We gave a lot more. We just said, okay. And he took us to this place and said, okay, you go out, I'll be waiting for you right here. And he went around the side of the building, and they're feeding them these plates of food for all the drivers. They're feeding all these guys plates of food for like $3 and $4. And it smelled so good. So we went around the side. We're like, because it's not like restaurant stuff. I said, no, I want it. So we bought a couple of plates for them, gave them some extra money or whatever, and we tried it. I love that stuff. I just love trying all the little local stuff.
Nice.
Not the place that's trying to draw you in for the tourists, but really like the side stuff. That stuff. Buy some fruit on the corner and hopefully you don't die.
Yeah. I always worry about the water. Even when I was in Costa Rica, I was just like, can I drink the water here? And apparently their water was very clean. So I was like, okay, at least in comparison to some places.
We had bottled water pretty much everywhere. I didn't really do that. I don't drink a lot of soda, but I was buying cans of soda and water, bottles of water, because I was just a little nervous about that.
Mm-hmm.
Me, always coming back from vacation, being sick. I didn't want to be a different type of sick.
And right before I left, I thought I was getting sick, and I almost didn't go on my trip.
That's not good.
No.
And we had a group of people in our family that were either a little bit sick or whatever, so that
it
really
worked
changed
out.
things.
I ended up having the sick where you go or having the at a certain when I swallow, my ears were getting clogged up, and this was 2 days before I'm supposed to go, and that was going to take me off the plate on certain things I was going to do down there, and I'm like, no. So I called up. I did a COVID test. I was like, rinse it with peroxide and like do it or whatever things that I could do to try to whichever, and it also might have been in my head.
Well, it also might have been the fact that you cut out a lot of stuff before your vacation, so that might have been messing with your...
I don't know.
Whatever.
But I was glad it worked out.
But I know one thing. I think I want to start drinking a little bit more. I know it's crazy, but I have stuff in my fridge. I think I'm going to start drinking a little bit. I don't know. What's your drinking choice? You just beer? Or is it just
honestly
anything?
Just I'm just drinking beer, really. I try to stay away from the shots because I like them a lot. And once I usually go down that road. And it's easy too. Like my tolerance is gone. Luckily, I'm happy to like if I'm in the right company, I'll drink beers and do shots all night. Even when we do events, when we go out and we do events, I can drink way more. And it has to do with the energy of the room and what's going on. That makes all the difference in the world. Because I spent so many years just kind of drinking on my own with work. I would just sit around and be like, oh, I'm gonna have like 6 or 8 beers while I'm working, or and then that would usually take care of me, and I wouldn't be drinking liquor here. So
right. No, I'm just I'm just a social drinker, but I think maybe I need to be a little more social since I'm a grumpy bastard half the time. So I don't know.
But you had a good time.
It's one of those things. I had a good time.
Yeah.
I can't do shots though, but I had a good time. I know Tommy always tries to get me to do shots and like pour me something, but he always tries to get me to do the other stuff. I can't do that. Shots
well, they go way overboard, or they can.
It's been a while. I know I got to take a trip to see Tommy soon anyway. Maybe right after the Super Bowl. I don't think I could deal with him for the Super Bowl. He'll drive me crazy, but right after the Super Bowl.
Speaking of football.
Football this weekend was insane. I know we were texting back and forth, trying to talk. We had a couple of different things going on with parlays and stuff. I know we're still doing football. We got until the Super Bowl. Then we're going to switch to something else. We'll do a little more entertainment, a little more this, a little more that. We'll switch to different sports. I'm trying to figure out this whole new TGL golf. I don't know if you know anything about this. We'll get into that at another point. But Tiger with his whole simulated golf league where there's a big giant putting green and the pros tee off into a screen and then they walk up and putt on this big green and there's an arena where people cheer and watch these events. This is a whole new thing.
No, I know nothing about it.
So we're gonna start talking about this because this is insane. Because I really do like. You don't watch a lot of golf, and I really do like to follow the big guys in golf, whatever. But
I would though. You see, I've always if I felt like I had the time to sit down and watch golf. Or maybe I do, and I just don't prioritize. But I used to really enjoy watching golf. But I'd watch it at the bar. And then we would, usually bet on the Sunday result.
I like to see what's going on in the golf on Friday, to see who makes the cut, who just made it, who's hot, who's not, and then check in on Saturday to see if there's any movement. Not really watch the whole thing, and then watch Sunday's end. That's what I like to watch that. Even while the football season was on, it doesn't matter what else is going on, I do like to watch it. It's really starting to kick off now, golf, believe it or not, because it's in Hawaii. I don't know how they're going to play in California next couple of weeks. They're supposed to do a California swing, and I don't know how that's going to happen with all these fires and stuff, but we'll see. But one of my resolutions this year, and I don't really call it a resolution, one of the things I want to try and accomplish this year is to play a little more golf so that when the golf season is actually in swing, I could feel a little more confident than just getting out there and going, oh, it's time to play golf. Crap, I'm terrible. I'm terrible anyway, but I want to feel a little better about being terrible.
I was looking at the weather because I wanted to see if you wanted to play. and I think the 28th is the closest where it would be good enough to the point where it'd be like in the upper 50s.
Yeah.
And because I do want to play.
Yeah.
I haven't played in so long, and I don't care if I suck or do whatever. I just want to play. I got new clubs for me, and I really just want to go out there and
And
see
you
what
haven't
it's
swung
like.
with them yet.
No,
Yeah,
I've only
so-
done a little bit at a range.
Yeah, so
and they didn't do very good at the range. But I'm like, I want to go out there on the freaking.
But it's just
course,
you just you got
play.
to get consistency. So, well, do you have any resolutions or anything that you're gonna try and do this year?
Any goals?
Specifically, any?
My goals.
I say things you want to accomplish because
Things-
resolution is kind of a little.
Yeah,
it's
fuck
over in a
that.
month. Just something you want to try by the end of the year.
No, by the end of my life, I want to do things. So more like, my goal is to be more positive, less angry, and more patient person. Period. And that's kind of it. And with that, and try to have some more fun, be healthier. You know, and that's not a resolution. That's a fucking life change I need to make.
Okay.
So that's where I'm at
So-
least part of it.
So be happier. I guess I'm sitting there saying I need to drink to be happy. That's what I was trying to say about a little bit. I want to start drinking so I can be not as grumpy. But yeah, I get what you're saying. There's a couple things I want to try and accomplish this year. First of all, I want to go travel to a concert because I go see concerts that are close. I want to go see a concert before these different bands that I happen to like don't do it anymore. I want to go see if I could see Nine Inch Nails again. I want to see if I could see Rage because I missed out on a lot of these shows, whatever. I want to go see, I don't know. I'd even go to Taylor Swift if I got a deal.
I'd
on
go
a
to
ticket.
Taylor Swift in a heartbeat.
I go to it if I could find a deal on a ticket, not whatever. But
Yeah.
I would consider it. I would consider going to something like that. I want to plan a trip just for a show. It could be in New Orleans because that's a fun little town to go see.
Yeah, I want to.
It could be in Vegas. It could be anywhere. I saw Foo Fighters in Bentonville, Arkansas. It was fantastic. That Walmart arena that they put up there, the amphitheater, whatever it was, they were fantastic. But if there's a decent show, I think I want to just plan one long weekend to go see a show this year. That's definitely one of those things. I also, this is going to sound crazy to you. I've had a song in my head for 35 years, at least, maybe a little longer, that I just want to write it. I'm not going to, and let somebody else do the music and composing. I want to write this song.
Well, you'd
so
have
it's
to
done.
get somebody else to do the music.
I mean,
and
I
the
could
composing.
play with it, but not really but there's a song in my head. Like I can sit down with somebody. I can see Tommy doing it, but he'd make fun of me the whole freaking time. I need somebody to help me just get this thing out of my head because I'm always like, I could do this. I know I have one thing in my.
Well, you were going to be mixing music.
I tried to do that, and I got into an argument with the guy who was teaching me how to do DJing and everything because whatever happened, and we had a falling out, and he was giving me lessons. And I have a board, and I have all this other stuff, and I know kind of how to do some stuff, but I never got to the next level, and he made me buy a board that doesn't record what you're doing. So I literally have to put another investment in to buy another board in order to continue to do this because I can't record myself what I'm doing. It's just messing around and it's not recording. So it's like playing the guitar and never recording yourself playing the guitar.
Right.
So I'm still working on that part of it. So I think this is going to get me into that part of it again if I could try and do that because I have the equipment, I have the stuff. I want to see what I can do. I do want to drink a little more. I just want to enjoy myself and have a couple of drinks here and there and not be like, oh, I haven't had a drink in so long. Not to a point, whatever. But every once in a while, just go out and have a drink. Go out and have a drink with people socially, blah, blah, blah. Because people always ask me to go out and I'm always busy. I never go and I'm working. Once again, I work to live. I don't live to work, but I do work a lot. So that's the problem. I got to get a balance of it. I know.
Right.
Cher yells at me all the time about that. She's like, you're always working. I'm like, I know, but you're trying to be successful and accomplish things. You still want to enjoy yourself a little bit. And the last thing, I want to get an ab. Just one ab. I don't need a six pack. I don't need whatever. I want to get thin enough where you can see that I'm thinner than I am now.
Oh, you want to lose weight?
Just a little bit. Just a little bit.
What's a little bit?
Maybe 20.
Okay.
Problem is, I love cooking now, and when I'm cooking, I make a lot and I eat. So
Right.
I got to change a little bit of stuff that I'm cooking, but that's it. That's New Year's. That's this year. I don't know.
Good for you.
Maybe I'll start putting some recipes out on this post and stuff. But anyway, I don't
Yeah,
know.
I was not prepared for any of this. Maybe next time I'll try to. You could tell me what you want to talk about, like beforehand, so maybe I could have something to
But you
add
said
to
you
the
don't like.
conversation.
But you said you don't like to. So I'm trying to give you. Okay, so
It's
from
like when
now
you're
on-
like, hey, what are your, like, what do you want to do in the future? It's like
well,
on,
not in the
off
future.
the cuff,
Just you
or
came
like
back
I'm like,
from
I don't
you
know.
came back from a vacation.
Do I want
to
to travel
recharge.
more? Maybe.
Like
yeah,
you said,
of course.
you said to me, just off the top of my head though, you said to me basically before the New Year's, even like the last month or so, that you wanted to take a trip. You never took a trip for your birthday a year or two ago. You never took
Oh.
a trip, so you wanted to take a trip.
I
But
took
have
the
you taken
trip.
one?
I mean, this was what you're talking about.
Okay, so this was the trip,
Well, this
right.
was a trip.
Right.
You know,
so
this was
I didn't
one
know
trip.
like a sightseeing trip, like type of thing, like to go somewhere. Like I want to go to Iceland. So maybe you want to go to Iceland. I want to go to Iceland, see the Northern Lights, and travel around that because I don't know what the heck is there. And I'm such an American. I'm so know the United States and nothing else. And I finally ventured out of the United States to go. Yeah, I go on cruises and whatever. But I finally went to London, and I'm like, wow, holy shit! Like I could do these things, and I might as well try. And other places are cool.
Yeah.
London was so simple. Cher makes fun of me all the time because she's like, yeah, you went to London, somewhere where they all speak English, and you really didn't have to really try too hard to like get into that
But
culture.
that doesn't mean anything.
And I'm like, I know, but I'm like, yeah, okay. So I know other places in Europe she mentions, and I'm like, oh, she's like, okay, you only want to go to the English speaking countries.
But those places that you're talking about going, whether if you're going to Germany and you're going to Italy, or you're going to Brazil, or you go anywhere that you're going, they're going to be speaking English because that it's a part of tourism and it's a part of why they're working in it. I mean, anywhere that I've gone in Europe, 90% of the people in the cities that I was going to spoke English.
Right.
So you'll still be okay.
Yeah.
When you go out of the city center, yes, you will be in the weeds. But these days, all you got to do is talk into an app and translate shit for
I know,
you.
that's true. That's true. I know. Like, like they were speaking Welsh in Wales when I went there.
Right.
It was like okay, now I get it. I get it. Like I didn't understand what was going on or what there was. I like to watch and observe, and it's the language barrier that you don't really get to see what the heck's really going on with these people, in different countries.
Well, good for you.
Well, now to football, because it's been a few weeks since we talked about football.
Yeah,
we have been putting in our own bets this past few weeks, ever since the last podcast that we had. We actually were pretty on a hot streak. So we won 3 out of 4 parlays. We won a parlay, then the next week we lost, and then we won 2 separate parlays.
Yes.
So 3 out of the 4 parlays that we did. Now, we took the week off. That was the last week of the season because they rest so many players. And I don't like betting that week because it's the last week and it's whatever. But the truth of the matter is we came back down to earth because we screwed the pooch the first week.
This last Sunday.
Yeah, we were in 2 separate. You were in another country. We're texting each other trying to, what do we bet? Oh, you going to bet? Yes, I got the bug. Okay, let's bet more. Let's do this.
Do you want to
so
do
we
it
would
together?
chase it. Do you want to chase? Do you want whatever?
Yeah,
so it was a horrible week. We had a couple of overs. We had some whatever. We got screwed right away is the problem. Okay.
Yes, the Chargers.
The Chargers shit the bed.
4 turnovers.
We went 0-2 in parlays and 0-2 in teasers this week, and one more that we were chasing at the end, and we didn't do very well. But Tampa killed us, and the Chargers killed us. Other than that, we had a chance. But we're not discouraged.
Not at all, because we're still way up.
We're up this year, so we're up in general.
Yeah.
So we're playing with house money, but we're still trying to be smart about it. So we're probably going to put in a tease this week. We might put in another parlay, and we might do some player props. But the props, I think, we're going to wait a little bit closer to the weekend. So we may update something. I may put out something on Instagram and Chatty Caveman. So we'll see what happens, just to see what we're going to put in there for a couple of player props. But we are going to discuss the games now. Last week, the Chargers 12, the Texans 32. Everyone, this was the most confidence I had in any game of the week was, the Chargers, they're the hottest one, and the Texans are coming in cold. Even though they were division winners, the Texans, even though Herbert was lighting it up, I said, there's no way that the Chargers are not going to win this game. They shit the bed so bad.
So bad.
That game, they should have been up. They were up 6-0 with 2 field goals when they should have had touchdowns. Then he hadn't had an interception in forever. Turnover. Oh, another interception. Oh, another interception. They were really never in that game. It got out of control fast. And that really just set the mood for the entire week. I was the first game, I was like, I was so mad.
Because every year we had a 6-game tease.
We had a 6-game tease, and we had a 4-game parlay.
Yeah.
And we had all this other stuff. And I was like,
4-game tease, too.
And we had a 4-game tease and a 6-game tease. No, the 4-game tease actually wasn't with the Chargers. We were chasing the next day with a tease because we were trying to get the money back that we lost on the Chargers.
Yeah.
So we excluded them and did another 4. And Tampa screwed that one for us. We were in it. But that game was just terrible. I will say this. Houston proved that they are a solid team. They're a second-year team. They're still a younger team. They got a lot of talent. And if they showed you anything, any team could win in these playoffs this year because it is truly an insane playoffs this year. There's no dominant teams because they're all going to go against each other. They're all going to go against each other, and they all have flaws. Every single team out there has flaws, big flaws.
Yeah, and I think, honestly, any one of these games can go. I mean, that's the thing. It can go either way.
Right.
Every freaking game.
Because last week, the Steelers 14, the Ravens 28. The Steelers actually played well in the second half. They just started off so slow, they weren't doing anything. They weren't playing up to their class. But the Ravens destroyed them early and then just kept going. And that was it. Because the Ravens, 28 points. They covered easily.
Yeah, this is the first time I picked 3 overs. I went for, I'm like, you know what? I just had a lot of confidence in there being higher scoring games. I thought Pittsburgh was going to score at least 21. I thought Baltimore was going to score about what they did.
Yeah.
And it was the same thing with the Bills. The Bills played freaking Broncos. The Broncos score 1 goddamn touchdown.
The Bills really shut them down. I was so surprised at that game. I was nervous about that game. Did pick the Bills. They did cover, but it was all or nothing with the Broncos. They're a young team. They'll get it together. The Bills were on fire. That was it. You couldn't do anything. Psychologically, they just took them right out of the game. Broncos 7, the Bills 31. They covered that 8.5 easily. The next game, the Packers 10, the Eagles 22. I thought the Eagles were going to put more on them, but the Packers, okay, a 12-point game. That's fine. The Packers really, they lost Watson. He was out. He was their biggest playmaker. They couldn't run. They couldn't do much. Then they lost 2 receivers during the game for a good part of the game. So at that point, the Eagles had the game in hand. And Saquon is just amazing. Amazing. We're going to see what happens this week.
But that was right down to, at least with the spread, that was right down to the last interception thrown in the end zone.
Exactly.
It was
exactly.
Yeah.
It was close.
Shit, it was very close.
That's what I'm saying. None of these games weren't really high scoring.
And Go figure. I went for the over.
I know he went for the over on all
because
3.
I tell you, their average points for the season, everyone was in the 20s. Some were in the low mid, and some were in the upper. So I was just going with all right, this makes pretty good sense, but you never fucking know.
No, and especially in the playoffs, you never know with blowouts on one side sometimes and whatever. But I thought a couple of these teams. I definitely thought the Broncos were going to perform a little better. The game on Sunday night, the Commanders 23, the Bucks 20.
Mm-hmm.
The Bucks had that game. And that was it. That was the end of our parlay right there.
And it was at the, it was all in the last 6 minutes.
And it was all in the last 6 minutes.
That was it.
It was all in the last 6 minutes.
Yep.
I will say this.
I was feeling confident.
I was too. I was very happy. I was like, oh, we had a bad week, but this chasing bet is going to make up for it.
Mm-hmm.
And no, it didn't happen. But here's what happens. That's why gambling is dangerous, everybody. But here's what happens, okay? I didn't even give enough credit to the Commanders. The reason why is the Eagles won the division. So I'm like, oh, the Commanders are a wild card team. They're a 12-5 team. They're a 12-5 team.
Yeah, they have a good record.
They had a good record.
Yeah.
They had a better record than the Bucks. They had a better record than the Rams. They had a better record than these other teams. And you sit there going, oh, yeah, the Commanders, they're rookie. Yeah, they're happy to get in. No, they had a great season.
Yeah, they did.
They had a great season.
Mm-hmm. And honestly,
and I didn't give them enough credit. Now I'm giving them credit. I hope I'm not giving them too much credit this week because I don't want to whatever. But that's it. And the last game, your boy from the Jets, the Vikings 9, the Rams 27. The Rams showed who they are. And they could play offense with anybody in the right conditions. They're a dome team. They're a fast team. They're a fast-paced team. And if Stafford gets it going and they get up against you and that coach can start rolling and get that team to score, they're dangerous against anybody on turf, indoors. Even though they were displaced from the LA Fires and they played in Arizona, they still kicked the crap out of the Vikings, who were beaten up last week for the last game to have a bye by the Lions.
Yep.
They were beaten up, and then they come in flat.
Too bad, Sam.
Yeah, he your ex-Jet.
Yeah, but he did have a great season, and he's coming into next season a much more valuable player.
Well,
literally.
That's the thing. They're talking about it all over. How much money did he lose? Because he has no contract. He's a free agent. Russell Wilson and Justin Fields for Pittsburgh are free agents, meaning they don't have contract extensions. They don't know what's going on. So are these clubs going to go anywhere? There's a rumor circling, or I don't know if he's doing it himself, that Aaron Rodgers wants to go to Pittsburgh, or Aaron Rodgers might be in consideration that Pittsburgh try and pull him in.
Why wouldn't they try to keep Wilson?
Because they lost 4 of the last 5 games. They really didn't perform in the last end of the season. That cost them a home field. and gave the Ravens the division. And they weren't happy with Fields to begin with and didn't give him enough of a chance. So they didn't really learn enough about Fields. So they kind of screwed themselves this year with 2 quarterbacks. They tried the first one at the beginning of the season, benched him to say Russell Wilson was better, went through the whole season and the playoffs, and then I don't think they used Fields enough to figure out what they had.
I'd like to see the stats, because were they really that bad, or was it, I mean, because there's only so much you should be putting on Russell Wilson. I'm sure there were missed plays that would have changed games big time.
I think the Russell Wilson thing is he didn't have enough speed to scramble anymore because he's a little bit older. And the other thing is that he held the ball a lot, which caused a lot of problems. Okay. He held the ball a little bit longer than he's used to holding it. Usually it gets out a little quicker, a little bit indecisive.
I understand.
I get it. It's division rivals. It's all this other stuff. Whatever happens, happens. But still,
Rodgers shouldn't be in the conversation.
No.
So when you look at the two,
listen to me. He's going to try. He's going to try and put himself in every conversation.
That's fine.
It's insane. I will say this: New England did pick up Vrabel from the Titans, who dropped Vrabel. He's now the head coach. He's now the head coach in New England, and everybody saw this coming. So we'll see what happens. They got a new coach. There's a lot of coaching vacancies. McCarthy. We did a podcast about it weeks and weeks ago. He finally got dumped by the Cowboys. Yep. And now, whether or not they are or not talking to Dion from Colorado, Sanders, they're saying they're going to hire.
Really?
Yeah, they're saying they're going to hire a coach that is familiar and is in the Cowboy family, meaning he's played or coached for the Cowboys before in some capacity, because somebody's got to at least know what they're getting into with that freaking owner, Jerry Jones. They got to know that he's just like, you got to know what you're stepping into if you're stepping into that. He has press conferences after most owners don't have their own press conferences after every game. He does. He's on radio shows all week. He's whatever. This is his thing. This is his baby. And so you better know what you're getting into if you go in there. I don't know. I do know that Rex Ryan is still trying to put himself out there and saying he's available for the Jets job because he wants it.
Yeah, I know. He was saying
but he's the only one. The Jets never asked him for an interview or anything. Right. He's just sitting there saying, yeah, Jets, I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go. Yeah, I'm available. I'll tell you what's going on. He's really pushing for that job because he wants a big payday on that one to come back. You know what? He's a good coach. He's a solid coach. He never won the big game, but he got him
to the playoffs twice.
He got him to the playoffs with, I think, Ray Lucas and Pennington and who else? I think wasn't Testaverde. It was the other guy.
Not Testaverde.
The guy, Mark Sanchez.
Oh yeah,
the
Sanchez.
Guy, the butt fumble guy.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're up to this week.
All right. So who you starting
this
with?
Week
because we could talk about these
Saturday.
Things. Saturday. What? We're going to start with the Texans
at the Chiefs.
Right.
Now, DraftKings lines, the spread is the Chiefs favored by 8.5.
Right.
They've been off since Christmas. They haven't played a game with their starters since Christmas Day. Everyone's been benched. They're fully healthy, and Andy Reid is a beast after the bye. But that's one day. That's 1 week off. This is 3 weeks. He's had 3 weeks off. Is there rust? Are the players? They didn't have a great season, which scares the shit out of me because I'm expecting them to blow people out of the water now. But the Texans coming hot with some confidence. If they can do something in the first half, this game may be close.
Yeah, I have no extreme confidence. If I had to just bet it without a spread, I would think Chiefs all day. I still think the Chiefs are capable of winning by 21, but how many times have they blown their opponent out of the water? I would say that's less than half the time, right?
Right.
So, I mean...
This game is a very teasable game. To me, this game is a very teasable game. It's at 8.5 right now. If we teased it and it's 2.5, it's only a field goal because the Chiefs win by a field goal always. At the end of the game, they win by a freaking field goal. Yeah. So to me, if I was going to put in a tease for this week, this would definitely be a teasable game. Yeah. The 8.5 scares the shit out of me because they haven't been that good enough. And putting it at 14.5, I could see the Texans getting blown out. I could see them holding it close. Either way, I still think the Chiefs are going to win by 3.
Okay. I would go both tease and win on the Chiefs for this only because it's now or never, and I don't think they're going to be comfortable with winning by only 7. I think that they're going to have to show that they're in the playoffs here, and they're going to have to show that they can kick ass. But I agree with you. I would do either a tease on this or a straight up bet on the Chiefs.
The only thing I'm thinking about right now is that part of the Chiefs staff is already overlooking the Texans and looking at next week's game against either the Bills or the Ravens to go to the Super Bowl. I truly believe that they're studying for not only this week, but for next week. That's what I'm thinking right now. I'm thinking that they're looking at all competition. I think they're not taking them as heavy. Houston played defense unbelievably, but they're a dome team, and they're going. And the Chiefs, if I'm not mistaken, we looked up the weather. I think it's like 23 to 15 degrees. I think it's like
I
a
didn't
30-degree
we
high.
didn't check that weather, but you might have.
Yeah, it was in the 20s, this game.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty sure that this game is going to be cold. I just think, and it's the first game, so I think it's a 3:00 game.
So
I just think it's going to be a little bit rougher on the Texans than playing at home in the Dome. They did great. I think they're happy with winning a playoff game. I think they won one last year. I think they won one this year. But I don't know if they're going to get past the second one. I don't see them in the championship game.
I can go either way. If we're going to do a 4-game tease, then we can do the Chiefs,
Okay.
and maybe we should also do a parlay. And I would also go.
I think okay. So right now, parlay Chiefs, tease Chiefs, and that's basically covering your bet with the tease to win the parlay. Okay, that's fine.
Maybe, but anyway, go on the next one.
Game. This game, the Commanders at the Lions, and the Lions are favored by, and this site is 9.5.
Yeah, same here.
That is a scary line in the playoffs for a team that had a bye, still has a defense. The Lions could blow anybody away by 20 points. I just believe that in my heart. If they're hot. I also believe they go for it on 4th down way too much. But the only team that goes for it on 4th down more than them, I think, is the Commanders.
Yeah.
Because they won this freaking playoff game without punting the ball and without a turnover. They went for it on 4th every chance they had. Whether they made it or not, they didn't punt the ball.
Right.
So if they didn't make 3 of them, okay. They still won the freaking game. If they made them, they kept marching down the field because it was a super high score. Either way, they take chances. They take risks. They're playing with house money. They have nothing to lose. They're way ahead of schedule.
Yeah.
They drafted Jaden Daniels, and that's it. And they're like, okay, you know what? We're going for it. This coach, he's crazy. He's the ex-Falcons coach. He got the Falcons pretty far. When they slipped and when Ryan was slipping, they went down. They let him go, and he went to Washington. They're playing fantastic. And I didn't give him any respect. I'm giving them respect now. I'm scared of this 9.5-point spread.
You should be. This is
Very much so.
This is something that I would be scared of the Commanders if I were you without the spread. I'd be, because the Lions have lost how many? 3 or 2?
The Lions,
this season.
2.
2. Okay. It's one of those things where you go, you never know. I have more confidence in this rookie now after this week.
Yeah, and he's got more confidence.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
He's playing with it.
Yep.
He is playing with it, and he's a running quarterback, and they have trouble with the running quarterbacks. That's who they have problems with.
I would, if
They have
I were
problems
to
with
bet,
Baker, and they have problems with Allen. Those are their losses.
if I was betting on parlay, I'd go Commanders, and if I was doing a tease, I'd give the points to the Commanders as well. I think this is going to be a close game, and that's what I would do. And I'm nervous
you
for
know me, I would tease the other way. I would tease it down.
Right.
I would tease it down to 3.5 and hope they win by a touchdown. But that half a point is killing me. Because if it was 3, I'd be like, okay, we could push the tease and still win. But 3.5. So we'll go back to that one because we're going to see which way we tease it. Okay. Rams on the road at the Eagles. The Eagles are favored by 6. I actually want the Rams in this game. I want them to win this game. Do I expect them to win this game, in all honesty? No. But I want them to win this game. The Eagles are at home. This is going to be a cold, cold game. The Rams should have had home field last week, but they had to travel to Phoenix, then go back to L.A., and now they're traveling to Philly. They're an indoor team. They played in Phoenix because it's another dome team on turf. Everything else. They're playing on turf, but they're playing on turf in freezing weather in Philly. I think the Eagles are going to win this game. I think the Eagles are going to win by maybe 4 points, maybe a touchdown. I think that's how close this game is because I also think that the Rams can run the ball, and that's the balancing act. So I think the Rams can run the ball, even though the Eagles have a great defense, fantastic defense. I think the Rams, because they have so many threats at the receiving position, I think they can run the ball. And I think there's going to be a ball control game. I don't think it's going to be that crazy. I just think they're going to win. I think the Eagles are definitely going to win. But that's me, and I'm not trying to convince you.
No, I know. I mean, if I had to, who do I want to win? Probably the Rams.
I like Stafford. He's
like
an
Stafford
ex-Detroit
too.
guy. I like Stafford.
Him.
But
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know who is gonna win. I mean, obviously nobody knows. But
Saquon had an unbelievable game last week. He ran again. He had 2,000 yards this year. He didn't get the record, but he had a great season. But seriously,
if I had to bet right now, I'd be betting on the Eagles, and I'd be doing that with both the spread and I would also tease the Eagles. But obviously, I think this can go either way. Maybe more so than anything else. I don't know. But anyway, Eagles.
Okay. So we're both in agreement with the Eagles. We can do a parlay and a tease. We can cover our parlay with the tease. So if we just miss the parlay, at least we get a tease.
Right. Okay.
Unless
Yeah,
the Rams just beat them, blow them
right.
out, then
Unless
they were
blow 'em
done
out,
anyway.
Then it'll be one of those things where you go,
Uh-huh.
this is what you can't believe. You hear fucking Chris
this is-
Collinsworth say, this is
Yes.
why you never know who's going to, because you never know.
That's why you don't bet on football.
Right.
Okay.
That's why the bookies
Last
make
game of the
most.
week is
Yeah.
the game of the year. This is how they're billing it. The game of the year. This is it. If they could make this the Super Bowl, they would.
You know who's due to lose?
Yeah.
The Bills.
Yeah.
And they're due to fucking crumble, actually. But I would still probably bet on the Bills, but go on.
They're due to crumble. The Ravens at the Bills, and the spread is the Bills are getting 1.5. The Bills are getting 1.5 because of Derrick Henry, because of Jackson. It doesn't matter. It's going to be a crazy game. They are going to both run. Cook and Allen versus Henry and Jackson, the running back. If anybody on defense can stop anybody, this is what it is. The Bills played a lights-out defense game last week. They need to play it this week. They really need it this week. They got killed in the first part of that game and never recovered. The first play from scrimmage against the Ravens in Baltimore when they played this year was an 80-yard or 70-something yard touchdown by Henry. He just blew by him, and was clocked at like some amazing speed for a guy who's been in the league for like however many years.
Right.
And it's so big. He just blew by everybody. The guy's a tank. The guy is scary to play. The only way to do this is they got a group. They didn't have few defenders when they got blown out by Baltimore in Baltimore. They got them back. These two teams, it's Super Bowl or bust for both of them. And they're not even, this isn't even the championship game. This is just a divisional game.
Yeah.
And one of them is done and is going to be sitting there trying to explain to their fans how we came up short, even though they both had fantastic seasons. Do I expect the Ravens to come out and punch them in the face? Yes. Do I expect Allen some way, somehow this year? It's just a hunch to figure it out this year. Yes. I think he's going to have more trouble against somebody who they got a little in his head. I think he's going to have more trouble against the following week if he gets there, because they're more in his head, even though they beat them already in Buffalo. They got to go to Kansas City. So I don't know if they're going to make it there, but I have a hunch they will. I just have a hunch. Lamar Jackson's unbelievable. Oh, by the way, these two, whoever wins this game, they're not going to say it, but probably wins the MVP because they're both in it for the MVP.
Right.
Both of them. And even though it's a regular season award, I guarantee you, they didn't announce it yet. I don't think they're announcing it. I don't think they announce it until the championship game. So I think this is going to have a lot of sway in any of those last-second votes or any of those votes that people say, oh, we had it in beforehand. I don't know.
So when it comes down to betting on this game, like, I am probably the most scared to bet on this game, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Come to think of it, where I would probably go with a bet like what you were talking about, a player prop.
Yeah, player props are interesting. I got to get the lines on all the player props, but they're very interesting.
But
If Allen has an anytime touchdown, one, I would bet that as a player prop. If Henry has an anytime touchdown at 1.5, I think Henry's only going to score one touchdown, not two. I think this game is going to come down to Henry getting one touchdown, Lamar Jackson probably rushing for a touchdown, throwing for one. Allen will run for one definitely.
how many rushes like that too? I
Right.
think
So
he's
how
gonna
many
rush a
rushes?
lot.
I think that the game plan for him is, if I think his over under. You know what? Let me look it up right now.
Okay.
Over 40 yards rushing. Do you think he's going to get over 40 yards rushing?
Do I think Allen is going to get over 40 yards rushing?
Yes.
Yes, I do.
Okay.
I think he's gonna. Yes.
So we should put a player prop in for Allen, 40 yards rushing.
Hell yeah.
We should put a player prop in for Hill on the Ravens to score an anytime touchdown.
Hell yeah, I'm in, because they're bad against the run, and you're saying that he's the second running back.
He's the receiving running back out of the backfield. He comes in third down back sometimes when it's a longer distance.
Gotcha.
And Lamar likes to extend the play, which always benefits a little bit to the guy coming out of the backfield if he's scrambling and he gets into that little slant pass. And he's been hot lately. And maybe we just do a two player prop right there and just see what happens.
I'm down.
Okay, let's do that one.
I'm so like into this, man.
I know we only got
Yeah.
3 weeks left.
Right, I know.
So-
Well, wait, you're saying only a two, like, meaning player prop, two bet, like that's a seperate bet.
That's a separate bet. Just
Gotcha.
those two.
And then we're still going with
right,
other
we're
bets.
still going with a parlay and a 4-game tease.
Right.
Okay, so that was So we didn't pick who we were going to win this game. So let's play your props. Look, the Bills are getting 1.5 points.
I know. I think this
Either the Bills are now getting 7.5 points, or, which is to me a big spread. If you add 6, that's a big spread.
No,
or the Ravens are now getting points. And they would be getting 3.5. And that's the Ravens getting 3.5 is another thing. Where it's like, are the Bills going to win by a field goal? Are they going to blow them out as revenge game?
No, the Ravens not getting 3.5. They're getting.
They would be getting 3.5 if we teased it the other way.
Gotcha. So, you know what? I think I want Buffalo. I want Buffalo to win. I'd prefer Buffalo to win.
Okay.
So I'd go with Buffalo.
So our tease is now Buffalo getting 7.5. Our tease is now the Eagles just winning the game because they're getting 6. Now it's down to 0. Our tease is the Lions getting 3.5, or the other way, 15.5 for the Commanders. And then we're taking the Chiefs basically 2.5. So if they win by a field goal, we cover. So we just have to know what the tease is. What's the tease? Right now, you had to decide. Commanders, Lions. The spread is.
If I had to choose, I would choose Washington getting the points, because I don't know if it's false confidence, but in the Commanders, because I think the Commanders can win this outright.
Yeah, scary. Okay.
It's one of those things. So I'm going, all right, well, if they can't, I think that they will keep it close.
So I'm going against the best season that my team ever had in my lifetime, and we're going to go with 15.5 for the Commanders, and that's our 4-game tease. Our parlay, on the other hand, is the Eagles to win and cover the 6. Our parlay is the Chiefs to cover the 8.5.
I wouldn't go with the Texans at all.
Okay. And then the 3rd game in our parlay is, and this is for all the marbles, Bri, it's either the Commanders and the Lions, which you'd be picking against, because I'm not picking the Commanders to win the game in the parlay. So the Commanders and the Lions?
Yeah.
Or the Ravens and the Bills?
Let's go with which one do you want to go with? Because I know what I would prefer, but I'll wait to hear what you have to say.
I think in our parlay, I'm going the Ravens.
Okay. You know what? I wasn't going to go there, so let's go with that, because I was going to go with the Lions.
Yeah.
But you don't want to.
No, because we're picking the other way, too.
Yeah,
so if they cover by 9.5, they cover whatever.
Okay.
Either way, it's a crapshoot.
All right. That's fine with me.
All right. I'm hoping for the best, but I got to go make some eggplant parmesan.